Hey, mate.
Good. Yourself?
Good, thank you, Andrew. Thanks
Great
for
to
coming
see
in.
you.
You too, mate.
Yeah,
All right. So now, what's inspired you to start your program with us in coaching?
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. Great question. So I was a long time in the corporate space.
Yeah.
In fact, 20 years of my life.
Yeah.
Had really good success in the corporate world. Climbed the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm a typical sort of type A alpha male.
Yeah.
Always thought that, my life and my identity would be tied up in progression in that corporate arena.
Yeah.
And did really well and got to a point where that was no longer fulfilling for me.
Can I ask what it was? What changed? Because 20 years, that's a long period of time. And you said that you had success. So you obviously were into it, you were progressing, you were doing well. What was it that shifted for you?
Yeah, I think early on I was really doing what my, inner feeling had guided me towards. I was always into technology.
Yeah.
From a very young age, I'd love to play with a computer, disassemble it, reassemble it, play games, have fun on that. So I always knew I was into technology. And I went into that, I got the business side of it as well. And early on, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then slowly as I progressed up the ladder, with that came more responsibility, more politics, and more accountability. And really, I didn't like the way it was going in terms of the politics of the environment that I was in. I had some personal things happen to me. I was made redundant from a very senior role in sort of some high-profile circumstances.
Yeah.
And that really hit my ego hard.
Right.
Because up to then it was plain sailing.
Yeah.
And that was the first sort of checkpoint for me. I managed to gather myself and come back for the next sort of 4 or 6 years, and then the same thing happened again.
Right.
And I just found that I was doing stuff that was incongruent with who I really was. And probably about 2 years ago now, that was when I said to myself, enough's enough. I'm not in the right environment for me.
Yeah.
And I really need to take action to change that.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking, about what I really love to do, and I really love to help people.
Yeah.
I've got a unique inner energy.
Yeah.
And I've got some talents that, I think are unique to me.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to find a vehicle to be able to express those.
Yeah.
And I'd always been interested in coaching from a very young age. I love to coach and teach people.
Yeah. And
it just really hit me that was a calling for me. And so I started looking into the options to do that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Isn't it it's interesting, or it's amazing how you had these two kind of like life shocks in a way. It kind of, in a way, it was like to wake you up to the truth.
Yeah.
That you weren't doing work that was really aligned with you. And it sounds like even though you were successful in those areas, you weren't able to express those unique parts of yourself to the truest ability that you're now doing and at the beginning of doing. Would that be right?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, I had to mothball a lot of my inner self to play that role of being the corporate executive.
Did you know you were doing that? Like, did you know you were mothballing and holding that stuff back?
I did. I actually did.
So you knew?
Yeah, I knew.
That must have made it hard.
Yeah, it was hard. Like, you'd show up every day, and they were big days for me. I had clients in the UK. I was part of a US company.
Yep.
So a US manager.
Yeah.
And, I was working from 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And actually, it just got to the stage for me that I was conscious that I was not doing something I loved anymore.
Yeah.
But it was the grind. It's the constant treadmill. And, I kept asking myself, surely, is it really this bad? It can't be that bad.
And this can't be it. I imagine you probably thought that. Like, is this it? Do you just ride that for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Because I imagine you must have been earning well in a situation like that. And I imagine there's so many people that would be in that situation where it's like, okay, well, you're at the kind of the top of the ladder in a way. You're taking care of business, but you're not taking care of life. You're not taking care of you. Your happiness is not there.
Yeah, and that was absolutely the case for me. I mean, I'd never dreamt that I'd actually earned as much as I was earning 2 years ago.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
But then you're right.
But for what cost?
I didn't have the life, and what cost for me, it was pretty clear. Yeah, my happiness, definitely. And, I've learned that that's the most important thing in life.
Yeah.
And also those around me. So I just didn't have the time that I wanted with my family.
Yeah.
Just had a young child. He's now 6.5.
Yeah.
But, he went through some patches of ill health as well. Yeah. And that was a challenge for me, I think, as well. Certainly my wife was better at dealing that with than I was. I had so much going on that I buried my head in the sand a little bit, and probably a typical male response. But all of that built up, and the tension, just the inner tension, just kept building and building.
Yeah.
And until the point that, I had to have my own transformation and find what I really wanted to do.
Awesome. Again. Now, you've only been in the Global Quest Coach program for about 4 months, 5 months?
Yeah, it would be 5 now. Yeah.
5 months?
Yeah.
Now, in that time, how have things shifted for you? Because I know you're at the beginning, of the rest of your life, right? And doing the work that you want to do. But how have things shifted for you in that short space of time?
Yeah, and I might, if I may, I might just go back a little bit before.
Yeah, please.
In terms of making the decision to do coaching.
Yeah.
And coming to the Institute, there was that tension around that decision because it's a big decision,
Totally.
You're giving up a big part of your life.
Yeah.
And if I can just reflect on that for a moment, it was one of the hardest decisions that I had to make.
Wow.
But already 5 months in, I feel it's probably one of the best decisions of my life.
Wow.
I've got so much confidence 5 months on, and I was really quite scared of the transition, and how I'd actually manage that. And one of the things that I found in these 5 months is that certainly on this global quest, I've had access to all of the tools that I could ever hope for to give me the confidence to launch my own business, to fend for myself, to do sales, to do marketing, to actually execute and give clients value.
Yeah.
And these are things that when you're in a corporate environment, I thought I knew what sales and marketing was, but it's totally different to actually doing it yourself and out in the real world. And the support that I've received, the community that we have here, it's just phenomenal.
It's wonderful.
And I'm rocking. I'm doing really well at the moment. So
congratulations. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
And hearing more of your backstory and what it would have been like to have gone through that, it really does give even more significance to how much of a big decision it was, because you'd been in this stressful environment for so long. And, it took 2 goes for you to say something's got to change. And you could have stayed. And I imagine you probably know a whole bunch of people you got friends in there and the people that are still in there grinding along. And for you to be able to make a commitment on what's going to give you the next part of your life, that you don't go back, but you go forward.
That's right. Yeah, and I've still got friends in that environment that are sort of asking me, is this the right thing? And I'm like, yeah, it absolutely is. And part of me
maybe you'll inspire them to become coaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well.
Because they look from the outside in, and part of them sort of saying, I really actually love what you're doing, and I kind of wish I could do it myself. But, I'm just unsure. And, what I've reflected on is that the fact that for once in my life, I actually went out of my head and into my heart, and I had a feeling that this was the right thing for me to do, and I went with it, and I trusted, and I found a community that really I resonate with and have given me so much. So 5 months on, I'm not looking back. It's just
amazing,
great. And just take the jump. It's the best thing I've done.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So tell us a bit about what you're doing with your coaching, because it's quite unique, and I love that you're. First of all, I love that you acknowledge your own uniqueness. I think that's really awesome, because I think that we've all got something about us, right? That is our thing, and I think when you discover that, and when you can connect with that, and then you can make that part of your work, you love it. So, what is it about? What you're into, and how have you combined that with coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had some health challenges at the tail end of my corporate career, just stress and burnout, low energy. I started to get, all sorts of health problems crop up. And when I was on holidays actually in the UK with my wife, I started getting into podcasts and finding out a lot more about, how I could help myself with my own health. And I really started to get a kick out of it. And I just got really passionate about, taking care of myself, and then also taking care of others. And I started helping out with my son and my immediate family. And yeah, I've just been on this 2-year sort of journey of self-experimentation and finding out about myself and what works for my health. And gathering a whole load of knowledge about that. And, the passion's just grown and grown. And so I've started my own health coaching business now. And, that's going great. I've got a number of clients on the books. And that's where I'm headed. And that's where my passion lies. And it gives me so much energy doing that stuff now. And I can see the difference between where I am now and where I was 18 months ago. And as a transition for me, I'm also doing some business coaching. And the way that I thought about that was that I really want to get good at being a coach and learning the skill of being a coach and learning what I'm being taught in the Global Quest program.
Yeah.
And so I've been applying that in the domain that I had the knowledge already, the business side, and then also into this new domain in health. Yeah. And I'm finding it's a great synergy. And the coaching techniques that we're learning are absolutely transferable into multiple domains. It doesn't matter whether it's business, personal, life, or health. Yeah. And there's a lot of unifying things around self-awareness, how to be with other people, how to be with yourself. And I'm taking that into the health space.
Good on you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Now, there's going to be so many people that'll be watching this from all around the globe right now. What would you say to someone who is considering becoming a coach just like yourself?
Yeah, I think listen to your instincts.
Yeah.
Listen to your instincts. And, trust your feeling and trust your judgment. And if you're unsure, reach out. Reach out and ask the questions that you need for yourself. Yeah. It's a big thing for some people, and it was a big thing for me. Yeah. And I found that when I reached out to the community, I just got the greatest support, and it just gave me the confidence to take that step. But, trust yourself. Yeah. Listen to your inner voice.
Awesome.
And rock forth. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Good on you, Andrew.
Buddy.
You're welcome.